Christian Del Bianco has held the Saskatchewan Rush to 6 goals in their last 4 meetings. There's nothing sour about that. Frank Giuliano, a former member of the Roughnecks, hopes to spoil the fun tonight here in Calgary. There are 3 weeks left in the NLL regular season as the March to May heats up. The TSN Game of the Week rolls into Calgary for the first of back-to-back games between the Rush and the Roughnecks. It'll be a playoff-like atmosphere inside the Rough House, so buckle up and get comfy. We're in for a treat on TSN. There is a look at your updated NLL standings, and these two teams on the outside looking in. So both of these games will be imperative if either of them want to make a march to May and the playoffs. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, as always, joined by Brad Challoner. My name is Teddy Jenner. We'll hear from Chantel Chan on the floor momentarily, but back-to-back games, end of the season, nothing could be better.
The schedule gods have gifted us one here in the National Lacrosse League this weekend, Teddy. The 57th edition of the Battle of the Prairies. Two teams that know each other very well. Calgary with the upper hand. They've won the last 7, but they're pretty much one team's gonna have to sweep each other this weekend to gain some hay in the Battle of the Prairies and the playoff positioning. The two teams that they have left after this game, above them in the standings. So this weekend, imperative.
Tyler Pace has 30 points in his last 6 games, and for those games, he's put up 6. He doesn't have to be the best, but he's gonna have to be a comparative partner to Jesse King.
I don't want to call him streaky, but when he's hot, he's hot. He can score 3 goals in a row. We've seen that happen a couple times this year. We've seen him come alive in fourth quarters. When he feels himself, the ball falls for Tyler Pace, and he brings floor balance to the floor against Jesse King, and he's really a focal point of this Calgary offense.
Tyler Pace is on the floor with Chantel Chan.
Tyler, 15 points in your last 3 games. Do you feel like you're playing the best lacrosse of the season right now?
Yeah, it feels good. Biggest thing is that we won the last game. We got to win the next game. So here we are. It's a big playoff game type atmosphere for us tonight. So, you know, we're just trying to get the win.
And you mentioned it, playoff implications, a back-to-back. How physical do you expect this one to be tonight?
Well, it's the rivalry of the Prairies. You know, we always have pretty physical games. I don't expect anything less tonight.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
It'll be fast and physical between these two clubs that love to run, but for the Saskatchewan Rush, it has been a hellacious schedule the last couple of weeks.
They're in the midst of 5 games in 13 days right now, but that could be a good thing. This is a team that is young. They're the second youngest team in the National Lacrosse League. They haven't been banged up, so their sticks are clicking. You talk to a lot of coaches around the league, they like the rhythm and playing that much lacrosse, and that could be a benefactor here heading into a back-to-back. This is a team that knows what it takes, knows how to preserve that energy, know how to come up big, and they've spread the love around this season. Zach Mann's proving his trade worth with Mark Matthews. He's got a career high in goals. Ryan Keenan will score a career high tonight if he gets one tonight. Clark Walters elevated his game, and Mike Messenger has just done everything on a lacrosse floor this season. He's got career highs in goals as well.
The captain, Ryan Keenan, is with Chantel.
Ryan, you've been killing it on the road, 18 of 26 points on the road. Tell me, what is it about playing on the road that makes you play so well, and your teammates as well?
I don't know. I guess any night you're playing, you got to be ready to go. And you know, we've had a lot more road games this year so far, and just trying to be prepared and ready to produce every night. So it happens to be it's been more on the road this year.
It's a back-to-back, a home and home. What do you think is going to be the difference here tonight in Game 1?
Well, it's got to be the start. I think we got to come out, you know, ready to punch first and keep going. It'll be a good battle, but you know, it's all about the start. The first 5 minutes, first quarter here.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Punch first, ask questions later. The Rush need to get a goal early on if they're going to have success tonight. It's the first of back-to-back between these longtime rivals, Calgary, Saskatchewan, the game of the week on TSN, and it's coming up next. The NLL on TSN Game of the Week is brought to you by NLLstore.ca, a Fanatics experience, officially licensed everything. Getting you set for the Battle of the Prairies with more. Here's Chantel Chan.
Yeah, it might sound cliche, but both these teams are already in a playoff mindset. Now, last year, Calgary swept the season series, winning all 3 games, and I had a chance to speak with Ryan Keenan, and he told me, listen, we haven't played very well against them in the last 2 seasons, but this is a whole entire different group that we have on the floor, and we're very confident and ready for the challenge tonight, guys.
Thank you, Chantel. That last picture was Jimmy Quinlan, and that is Josh Sanderson, the 2 head coaches for these clubs, former foes off the floor and on the floor. Now they're against each other. Frank Giuliano, in between the pipes, was drafted 18th overall by the Roughnecks, spent 7 years here, got his first start against the Edmonton Rush back in 2012 in a 9-6 win for the Roughnecks. Christian Del Bianco was drafted 15th by the Calgary Roughnecks in 2015. 2017, he got his first start against the Rush with Frank as his backup, and he stopped 35 of 47 in a 12-11 overtime loss. This will be a goaltender's duel. It'll be a defensive matchup. But Brad, I think this might be one of the fastest games in the NLL this year.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute track meet, I think, all weekend long. Both teams generate transition in different ways, though. Calgary, Christian Del Bianco will start it with long outlet passes to his streaking defenders. For the Saskatchewan Rush, it's blocking shots, it's picking up loose balls off the turf, and it's carrying the ball up the floor with numbers to get those transition opportunities. So they do it in different ways, but they both do it effectively.
Justin Inacio inserted back into the Calgary Roughnecks lineup after missing the last couple of games. He's a 41.9 faceoff percentage specialist. They hope he will be able to neutralize Mike Messenger, who's a bull in a china shop trying to knock bodies down. But first possession will go to Shane Simpson and the Roughnecks. Calgary wearing their special Tiki Night jerseys. That's why you're seeing some sand on the floor. Here's Tyler Pace, first possession for the Roughnecks. Late man, Josh Curry to the captain, Jesse King. Gets a pick from Tanner Cook to Pace on the far side. Plants his feet, bounce shot blocked, just as Brad mentioned, and picked up by Isaac Inju.
Scripted perfectly. Mike Messenger gets in the way, Inju carries up. You heard Ryan Keenan in that pregame, Teddy, talking about slow starts for Saskatchewan. When they allow the first goal, they're 0-6, which is kind of an anomaly in the National Lacrosse League. In a game where we're going to see, 20, 25 goals tonight, most likely, that is a stat that they don't want to be on the wrong end of tonight.
Shot by Robert Church goes wide and over the glass. Here comes Dan Taylor and the Roughnecks. Courier in the corner. Comes around a double seal shot, saves Giuliano, his first of the night. Loose ball picked up by Jake Boudreau, who's really turned the corner and become one of the stars in the back end for Saskatchewan.
7 goals on the season. He's one of the guys that pushes the pace for the Rush, but really coming into his own.
Keenan, the captain, gives it to Clark Walter, reincarnation of Todd Lorenz with that old school duster. Now Church inside, Zach Mans had his hands tied up nicely by the Roughnecks defense. Loose ball, and Courier will let the shot clock expire. In Calgary, another tight defensive set.
That's what we'll see all night. If the Rush want to be successful, they're going to have to send cutters and try to get on top of Christian Del Bianco. So they do the right thing, but well defended by Eli Salama, who's going to match up against Zach Mans tonight.
Here's King. One-on-one with his defender, surveys, outside shot, almost hit Dan Taylor in the back. And Saskatchewan will jog this one across center. McClellan will give it to Clark Walter. Now Patrick Dawes, former member of this Roughneck squad, drafted by them in his rookie season, then traded to Panthers City, now a member of the Rush. Inside feed, doesn't connect, loose ball far side. Keenan has Matt Suoka all over him. Keenan all the way around the outside, tried to feed it inside to Dawes. He was marked tightly by Ethan Tyser. Matt Suoka gets across center, gives it to big Tanner Cook, who's really continued his trajectory as an elite power forward in the National Lacrosse League. Taylor now wasn't at morning shoot around, but able to make it for game time. Shot saves Giuliano, loose ball. And it'll be picked up inside the crease by the Saskatchewan Rush defender, Adam Jay.
Tanner Cook scored the overtime winner here 2 weeks ago as Calgary came off the bye. Josh Sanderson, head coach of the Roughnecks, happy with the timing of this bye week to rest some bodies for this next important stretch here.
Man's far side. Inside, Triolo shot, saved Del Bianco. Good look for big Mike Triolo. who's really found a home here in Saskatchewan. He's bounced around a bit, but inside this offense, he has really found a home.
Yeah, he's kind of been a Swiss Army knife on the other teams that he's played in the NLL, but Saskatchewan saying, no, we want you to be a big body righty. And now that he's got a role and a defined role, it's really coming into fruition for Big Mike Triolo.
Pass goes awry, picked up by Eli Salama. One of the unheralded defenders on this Calgary Roughnecks squad.
Yeah, and they missed him. Missed a couple games to injury this season, and when he's on his game, he's one of the best in the league.
Here's King. Pace, shot, bouncer, score, goal, took a deflection. I think it went off Messenger's stick, eluded Chiliano, and there's the first of the night. Calgary's up 1-0.
Yeah, a bit of a trickler as Tyler Pace comes across to where the lefty shooter normally would be. So a bit of a different positioning for Pace. We'll see if Messenger does get a piece as it kind of pinballs its way to the back of the net. Tyler Pace goes far side. I think that was clean, but nice looking rip by Tyler Pace. So again, we focused on him in the pregame show. He's a guy that's hot. The Calgary Roughnecks really feed off his momentum and his enthusiasm. If he gets one early, he usually gets a few more.
Goal 29 on the season for the Coquitlam native. Tanner Cook now from Curtis, Ontario. To Pace, back to Cook. King trying to set a screen. Oh, and Cook! ISO! On Bobby Kidd III, takes the open lane, beats Chiliano far side. Too quick in succession for Calgary.
That's a matchup that I think is favorable for Tanner Cook all night long. As he gets Frank Chiliano dropping down to his knees early and leaving that top shelf exposed. As he tucks underneath the Bobby Kidd and goes far side high. Two quick ones to open things up for Calgary. Tanner Cook stays hot.
12 seconds between the Pace and Cook goals, and that's goal number 22 for Tanner Cook. Got a Curtis, a star at UNC, 5th overall pick back in 2020 by these very Roughnecks. Messenger wins the draw and the loose ball, but throws it to nobody. They picked up by Matsuoka. Messenger thought he had a relief outlet. Nobody home. And an unforced error, free possession for Jesse King and the Roughnecks. King patient, inside feed just off the top of Josh Courier's stick and out of play. So Ryan Barnable will find that loose ball and jog it across center. 4.5 gone here in the Saddledome. Chantel Chan, Brad Chowner, Teddy Jenner, thanks for joining us on TSN, TSN Plus, maybe even ESPN Plus if you tune in south of the border. Patrick Dodds thought about it. Aaron pass goes to Zach Mans, and then Kazemnikov with a shot off the shoulder of Del Bianco. That's one of those ones they talked about. Patrick Dodds seemed to be a little more selfish, wide open in the middle, didn't take the shot. Mans now. Robert Church. Can't find Kazemnikov. Keenan shot goes wide. And Church will find it. 10 on the shot clock. Still time here for Saskatchewan. Clark Walter gets underneath. Couple fakes. Nice save, Del Bianco. Got a man up ahead. Simpson. But nice job by Saskatchewan getting forwards off the floor to negate the transition chance.
Yeah, that top lefty shooter has to be aware. They know Shane Simpson is going to go, but if we rewind back to that look, that's a great feed, a great cut by Walter. That's the shot you want, but Christian Del Bianco doesn't allow it. To see if the Rush will try to exploit that time. Getting underneath, getting on the crease.
Pace to Hogarth, what a save, and what an attempt by Thomas Hogarth, but Chiliano with his best of the night so far.
Hogarth back in the lineup, one of the guys who does the dirty work on the righty side of the offense to open up Tyler Pace for his feeds and his shots. And they're happy to have 91 back.
Church now. Across the floor, Keenan working a two-man game with Zach Mans. Keenan to Church. Mans, one-timer! Del Bianco sliding pipe to make the save. Now he's got to find an outlet for an 8-second violation. He gets Dan Taylor. Well, just a few Edmonton boys in this game.
Yeah, this is the Battle of the Prairies, and I think we've only got 3 players from the Prairies in this game.
Taylor shot bouncer. Missed the net, out of play, and that'll take us to our first TV timeout. Tyler Pace got the first, Tanner Cook got the second as he beat Chiliano far side over the shoulder. The Roughnecks lead it by 2 here on TSN. The city of Calgary is situated on the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy and all people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 region of southern Alberta. The NLL and TSN acknowledges all nations, Indigenous and non, who live, work, and play on this land and who honor and celebrate this territory. Ideal start for the Calgary Roughnecks, Brad, up 2-0 for 5.5 in.
They've got the 2 goals, but I think most impressively as well is Christian Del Bianco making 2 great saves on Mans and Clark Walter. There's been some good looks by the Saskatchewan Rush, but so far, Christian Del Bianco, who's really heating up, the reigning most valuable player of this league, is shutting the door for this team when it matters the most in the latter stages of this season.
Little up-floor pressure from Eli Salama, so Frank Chiliano will head to the bench for the extra attacker. Mans will head off, Chiliano will come on, Messenger will go off, and Mans will come back on. Triolo now. Pick and pop with Church, doesn't connect. Hounded there by Courier. Far side Keenan, one-on-one with Simpson. Split dodge, gets underneath, shot saved by Del Bianco. Nice move there by Keenan as he was one-on-one with Shane Simpson. Quickly up ahead, Pace off the bench.
It's the 3rd time they've gone underneath with their left-handed shooters, something Calgary will need to clean up.
Pace with a hidden ball trick. Frankie sniffed it out early. Late man, Courier. Back to Pace, 10 on the shot clock. Jesse King now. Can he get underneath Bobby Kidd? Inside, all alone, what a save by Chiliano. Denying Taylor on the doorstep. Frankie settling in after the first 2 got by him. Nathaniel Kozevnikov. Outside shot, deflected. Loose ball goes right to Keenan, but he's pressured and it falls to Del Bianco. 20-yard pass to Cornwall. Plays a little give and go with Matsuoka. Finds Cook off the bench. Cook tried to return pass to Cornwall, knocked down, and now Frankie's got a man up ahead. It's Jake Boudreau. Saskatchewan trying to run in numbers now. Boudreau, shot, saved Del Bianco. Rebound, another save by Del Bianco. That time off the stick of Isaac Enju.
This is the pace we anticipated. A couple quick plays on either end of the floor, some bobble passes, but Saskatchewan turns it into a transition opportunity.
Enju, the 40th overall pick back in 2022. Quietly unassuming and steady were the words by Jimmy Quinlan. Taylor shot, try to go 5-hole, and Chiliano down early to soak that one.
Yeah, they've been a big fan of Enju's play. Says quiet, maybe a little too quiet. They don't think he said a word all year, but just quietly learning this defense. Been a big piece of their decor.
Church now, work a 2-man game with Messenger, banging and crashing as he always does. ISO for Mans inside, all alone Walter on his wrong side, and Del Bianco quickly up ahead. Simpson, shot, good save and a beauty from Chiliano. Loose ball picked up by Holden Garland.
Another good look for the Saskatchewan Rush, and Del Bianco has been the star through the first 7 minutes.
Kozevnikov to Dodds. Late man is Clark Walter. Zach Mans in the bright green shoes and the black leggings, turns the corner, takes a shot, trying to go low to high, just missed the corner. Keenan to Mans, couldn't connect. Dodds got to get a shot off, he does, and Del Bianco parries that one away. Nine minutes gone, we've already had 17 shots. Last time we did a game on TSN, Brad, it was already 6-5 by this time. Here's Hayden Dixon. Into the corner, Tanner Cook. Skips it far side, Pace, 5 on the shot clock. Can he get his hands free? Cook, shot. And that one's handled by Chiliano, trapped between the arm and the hip. Good job by Sass, keeping the shooters to the outside.
Yeah, it's a look that Frankie has no problem swallowing up. We'll see if the offense can get things going again. They really spread it out, work the ball around, look for those cutters or those ISO situations like Keenan's got right now.
Inside, man shot, shoulder save by Del Bianco. Good pick and roll there inside. Unable to beat the reigning goalie and MVP of the year.
10 saves in the first 10 minutes. This could be one of those nights for Christian Delbianco where he's seeing the lacrosse ball the size of a beach ball on Tiki Night.
King plants his feet, turns back down the alley, working with Taylor. Inside feet, dead. Taylor couldn't find it. Backhander saves Chiliano, and he'll hold for the whistle. Christian Delbianco with back-to-back stops in transition. The first off Jake Boudreau. Then inside he says no to Andrew. '24 IIHF Ice Hockey Women's World Championships are here. Witness the world's best teams battle for glory. Who will skate to victory? Tune in this Sunday as Canada takes on Czechia at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, only on TSN. Great turnout here inside the Rough House as always. Look at that mustache on Clark Walter. That is a thing of beauty.
Sure he's not a cop? That duster. You mentioned the crowding here, Teddy. A lot of Saskatchewan Rush fans in the building tonight. They'll drive 6 hours, either tonight or tomorrow morning, back for the second half of this doubleheader. I'm sure the Roughneck fans will do the same.
Here's Mans getting past his man. Takes a shot off the crossbar. And up and out of play, and Mans smashes his stick against the sideboards in frustration. And that's what Christian Delbianco can do to shooters. Just gets in their head and frustrates them on close opportunities.
This offense is doing the right thing. There's been so many different looks. They've had cutters, they've had guys come underneath, they've had outside shots. It's just been the Delbianco story so far. This offense is not stagnant for the Rush. They've just been snake bit so far by a fantastic goalie.
Walter spins away from the double team to Church. One more Triolo shot, saved Delbianco. Calgary looking to run, up ahead. Shane Simpson, Messenger out the back door. Shot saved by Chiliano. Loose ball around the world, twister from Courier. That almost went. And Simpson's slow to get up. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Messenger up ahead for Saskatchewan. Two great saves in succession by Frank Chiliano. Shot by Messenger, turned aside. Loose ball. Reese Callies.
Zach Courier sitting with just that one goal so far this season, which is well away from what he normally does in an NLL season, but he hasn't had the lack of chances. We've seen stuff like that from Courier all season long. The ball just hasn't dropped.
Shot by Dixon off the pipe and out of play. Hey, you're right. Courier's had so many chances, and he's been throwing everything he possibly can to find the back of the net. Just been snake bit all season long.
He's got the loose balls, he's got the cause turnovers.
Backdoor cut and a goal. King beats Dixon, and it's 3-0.
This is a guy that the Roughnecks need to come alive if they want to be successful down the stretch. Their depth needs to flex, and that is guys like Hayden Dixon. Great east-west feed, and then come across the crease. Bring your defender with you. A couple bodies in front of Chiliano, who I don't think could see past Holden Garland. And Hayden Dixon makes it 3-0.
3 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter, and we heard from Ryan Keenan with Chantel pregame. They need to get off to a hot start. This is the exact opposite. Ignacio wins the draw cleanly, and he won't force it. He'll run to space. Give it off to Zach Courier. King and Cook pick up the assists on the goal by Hayden Dixon, who scores his 21st of the season. Dan Taylor.
14 shots apiece, Teddy, to start this game.
Pace, inside, all alone. King, what a save by Chiliano against his former teammate all alone. They thought they were going to Cook. King rolled inside, and a glorious opportunity thwarted by the Rush goaltender. There's Church. Can he break the stride here? Clark Walter to Church. To Gazethnikov. Shot saved Delbianco. Loose ball Salama. Up ahead Ticehurst. And he will slow the pace.
defenders stayed with Konechnikov across the crease, so he really didn't have a ton of shot options. Couldn't come back and throw a twister or any fakes, just had to get a quick shot off, and Delbienko again up to the task. 14 stops now.
Pace, Tanner Cook. Driving, flips to King. Shot, trying to go short side, missed wide. Jared Smith, one of those Prairie boys in the lineup. Zach Mann, shot, saved Delbienko. Mann again with a glorious opportunity. Up ahead, Matsuoka, charge! As he takes a hit from Adam J. And Pace gets in there. But what a pass from Delbienko to a streaking Harrison Matsuoka. And I think the Roughnecks might be going with power play.
And one, as he takes the punishment. Watch the feed from Christian Delbienko. This is what he does better than any goaltender in the NLL. On a rope to Matsuoka, who takes the punishment, but tickles Twine as he's sprawling and falling. It's not just Shane Simpson as an outlet weapon for Delbienko. That's Matsuoka's 4th of the season as he chips in on the run. 4-0 Roughnecks.
And they put both Pace and Jay in the box. So we'll play 4 aside. There's a look at the all-time goalie assist leaders in the NLL. Christian Delbienko now 5th all-time, moving past Anthony Cosbo with 90 in his career, just 3 shy of tying Steve Dietrich, the GM and assistant coach of the Buffalo Bandits. Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad for a guy who's about 15 years younger than the players at the top of that list. You think Delbienko keeps doing what Delbienko's been doing, he'll top that list in no time.
So we'll play 4-on-4s. Coincidental minors were called on Jay and Pace. And Messenger will flip it to Church. Is he going to stay in play? No, he'll head off the floor. Last minute to go here in the first quarter. 4-0. Roughnecks leading the first of back-to-back games between these two teams. Church up top. Keenan shot, saved Delbienko. Loose ball, Salama. Cornwall now. And they want Cornwall to go for a quick shot. So he's going to take the back. Nice strip check there by Triolo. Triolo all the way up the floor. One-on-one, trying to back his way in. Post up. Keenan off the bench. Triolo's got to head off. He looks like he's holding his left arm. See if Chantel can get some information at the quarter break. 8 seconds on the shot clock for Church. Gets a pick from Dodd. Shot just missed wide. That'll go off the boards to Keenan late in the shot clock. 9 seconds left. And Josh Sanderson will call a timeout to go 5-on-4 here and ask for a couple more seconds. We were talking about the importance of this game between these two teams. A sweep by one team is great. A split does neither team any help.
Pretty much have to split this, or pretty much have to sweep this series rather, to try to get a playoff berth for these two teams. The teams that they're chasing in the standings, the teams that both of them have left this season, Teddy, are ahead of both these teams. So you can't just split and be happy with this weekend. Pretty much have to sweep. That's why we've got this playoff atmosphere here to start this game. And it's been largely because of that man. Not only has he made 17 saves already in the first quarter, he's also got an assist to spark the transition. A great opportunity here. Calgary 5-on-4, 8.7 seconds left to try to get a shot on Chiliano.
Delbienko on the bench. King will start with it with Cook, Dan Taylor, Tyler Pace, and Zach Currier. Check that, Thomas Hogarth. Boudreau, Messenger, Jarrett Smith, and Ryan Barnable will be the 4 defenders for the Rush. 8.7. And I think they're still trying to put a few more seconds up on the game clock before they start things here to end the quarter. And it looks like we're good to go. They'll stick with 8.7. King quickly up the floor. Who will get the final shot here in the opening 15? King will take it, blocked by Jared Smith, and that's why he's there. And the quarter will come to an end. 34 shots combined by these two teams, just 4 goals, and they're all on the Calgary side of the board.
And what a soak there by Smith to keep it just a 4-goal game through the first 50 minutes. But Christian Delbianco, an absolute fantastic story to open this lacrosse game. The reigning MVP is absolutely dialed.
4-0 Calgary leads it after game one of a back-to-back with so much importance. Come back and join us from Calgary on TSN. "15 minutes in the books, 4-0 lead for Calgary. Holden Garland is one of the new leaders of the Saskatchewan Rush. With more on his story, here's Chantel Chan.
Garland was drafted back in 2019, and with the changes that the Rush made in the offseason by letting go of veterans like Ryan Dilks and Mark Matthews, Holden actually ended up getting a different role on the team. Now, he said that he likes being known to be a leader, and he rocks the A on his jersey. He said that Jimmy Quinlan called him into his office and asked him, how would you like to rock the A this season? And he gives a lot of credit to his former veterans on the team, like Ryan Dilks, Chris Corbeil, and Cal Rubish. He said he learned a lot from them in terms of how to be a leader. Guys?
There you see just how much of a leader he is, taking the clipboard from Jeremy Tlevy and drawing up the defensive schemes.
27 years old, right in the prime of his career, and the heart and soul of this back end. Another guy who missed a few games this season. And
Very
really
scary incident that he missed games from, too.
Yeah, had a blood contusion in his thigh. Pretty serious stuff. And they were happy to have him back in the lineup, leading this team. I like him holding the clipboard. We used to see Mark Matthews do that a lot when he was with the Saskatchewan Rush team. This is a team that values input from their players. Everyone is a part of this group, and it's going to be on them to turn it around here in the second quarter.
King, Pace, and Cook all with 2 points. Salama, 4 loose balls to lead the way for Calgary as the Rush get the opening face-off to start the second quarter to see if they can find the back of the net behind Christian Delbianco. Here's Zach Mans, plants his feet, tucks it, delayed penalty coming, and we might get multiple penalties here. I'm not sure what the call is. There's gonna be too many men on Saskatchewan. Another unforced error by the Rush. Offensive zone, too many men called.
Saskatchewan bench minor. 2 minutes.
That's your crew chief, Ryan Fowler. He's lined by Ryan Dutkus, Simon D'Souza, and the legend Ron Getz is your score clock operator in the penalty box. So the first power play opportunity for Calgary, 12th in the league at 42%, going up against the 10th best penalty kill. Here's Cook. And that should be a 4-on-3 as Pace and Jay are set to come out of the box. And so we're back to 5-on-4. King to Pace. Backhand flip, King. Twister missed for the shot clock. Courier can't get it off in time. And the Rush want to delay a game penalty on that late shot from Josh Courier, none coming. And so we'll have 90 seconds to kill off this penalty. Messenger watched by Cornwall. Messenger runs right at Matsuoka, gives it off to Triolo. Good to see him back out on the floor. Triolo drives behind the net, watched it by Matsuoka. Triolo loses possession. Courier will pick up that loose ball deep in his own zone. Power play will go back to work with a minute remaining on the minor.
Bit of a double to help out, but Matsuoka, who's outsized and outmuscled by Triolo by a substantial amount, holds his zone and takes the big man into the back glass. What a breakout season for Matsuoka here in year 3.
Cook shot, saves Chiliano. Got just enough on that power play shot by Tanner Cook. Jared Smith. Boudreau, far side Robert Church. Now back to Clark Walter. 10 on the shot clock. Keenan, watched by Reese Callies. Gets underneath, Slide help comes from Courier. Keenan, and nice job defensively by Calgary, and they'll have 10 seconds, maybe chance for one last shot, but I don't expect them to force anything here as Keegan Bell is set to come out of the penalty box. One shot on net as Calgary falls 0 for 1 on the power play. King, backhand flip, Cook, shot, sails wide. Rebound goes right to Tyler Pace. Gets a pick from Hogarth. He couldn't handle it, but he's able to get the loose ball late in the shot clock. Heavy shot, and Chiliano had to be careful with that one as it came from an awkward angle.
Well, stagnant. I think Calgary maybe thought there was a reset or something, taking their time to get that shot off. It doesn't end up doing anything for them.
Barnable gives it off to Mans. Tries to dart to the middle of the floor. Kazevnikov, Triolo plants his feet, shot sails wide. Matsuoka's going to try to run onto this one. And it'll be an over and back call. Loose ball picked up by Ethan Ticehurst. And no numbers for Calgary. Saskatchewan was back in numbers, but they got Mans and Keenan trapped back defensively. Can Calgary take advantage of 2 O guys out there on the floor? Dixon to King on the far side. Tried to skip it to Taylor. Knocked down nicely by Messenger. Shot clock winding down. And it'll be picked up there by Boudreau. Loose ball flipped up ahead to Keenan. He'll give it to Church and head for a change. Gets a pick from Dodds. Top center of the floor, now Clark Walter. One-on-one with Eli Salama. Clark Walter turns the corner. Stick check loose, and a penalty coming. And Salama hates the call. And the Rush was their first power play of the night.
13th overall in the National Lacrosse League at 42%.
Calgary penalty, 2 minutes holding.
Not very Rush-like in the percentage department as we've seen in years past. Something they've been working on. They've got their weapons. They've got Robert Church, they've got Keenan, they've got Mans. We'll see if they can get off the schneid here on the power play.
Calgary has 5 shorthanded goals this season. Good news for Saskatchewan. They lead the league with only 1 shorthanded goal against. Here's Keenan, inside feed. Hounded by Callies was Robert Church, and he bats it ahead. Keenan tracking back. And he'll throw it up to Church. Josh Sanderson wanted too many men called. Dodds through the middle. Turns back away from trouble. Got to get a shot off. Knocked down nicely. Good defense there by Calgary. And much like that possession by Calgary earlier, I think Saskatchewan thought there was a reset.
And much like Christian Delbanco, the entire D-core is dialed in front of him. Aggressive out on hands, blocking shots, getting in lanes, picking off passes. A great start to this game for Calgary.
Pace. Watched by Holden Garland. 5 on the shot clock for Tyler Pace. Tough angle off the left foot of Chiliano. Loose ball, far side, picked up by McClellan. Headmans to Garland. And with 54 seconds remaining on the power play, Zach Mans will take over for Saskatchewan. Mans to Keenan. Shot saved Delbianco. Loose ball. Grabbed there by Callies. Up ahead Simpson. And again, Saskatchewan getting off the floor quickly. And get the defensive unit back on the floor with 30 remaining on the minor to Eli Salama. Taylor to King. Now Hayden Dixon. He has a goal here tonight. Dixon one-on-one. From the top. Shot deflected. Escaped wide of Chiliano's net. Messenger up the floor. Salama getting set to come out of the box.
Robert Church hasn't had a ton of good looks yet. It's only a matter of time before he heats up.
Triolo finally, just as Salama gets out of the box. It won't be a power play goal, but Triolo gets his 13th of the season and the first on the night for the Rush.
And a seeing eye stinger for Mike Triolo. It's a flip pass from Robert Church. No one's out on his hands. And he just fires that from point-blank range, far side high. 6'8", has that reach to put it over the shoulder of Christian Delbianco. And the Rush get a much-needed power play marker, 4-1.
27th overall pick was Triolo by Buffalo back in 2015. His first career hat trick was the game we did on TSN just a few weeks ago against Saskatchewan. Ignacio wins the draw, gives it off to Cornwall, who sprints down the floor. Courier to Leclerc. Messenger and Church pick up the assists on the goal by Mike Triolo. There's Jesse King, watched by Bobby Kidd III. Hogarth. Courier shot paired aside by the left arm of Chiliano. And as always, Hogarth lurking around the crease, but to no avail. It is the battle of the prairies, and we wouldn't expect anything less from mean Mike Messenger working hard in the corners. In 2015, Mike Messenger was the most offensive player for Limestone when they won the D2 championship. He was a 2017 NLL All-Rookie member, and he is not messing around. One of the best all-round players in the league.
No player in the National Lacrosse League has this stat line. Loose balls, caused turnovers, block shots, 15 points, 10 goals on the season for Mike Messenger. There's nothing on the floor that he can't do. One of the toughest players in the National Lacrosse League. A guy who can take over shifts at will when he wants to.
And he could probably play a full 60-minute game if he had to. Kazemnikov to Church. Little set play out of the timeout. Triolo. Shot goes wide. Loose ball right to Zach Manns. 10 the shot clock. Manns shoots through a screen. Oh, that's soaked. And that did not feel good by Eli Salama. And we're going to need some trainer help for Eli Salama. Fans watching south of the border, that is where that shot went on number 13.
And I'm going to put a positive slant on it, but that is right where Zach Manns should be shooting from. Like that's a good look. He comes around his screen. He has a point-blank shot. Decides to go on a bit of a sidearm here to sting Salama. But this is one of Saskatchewan's better looks, is having Manns use his athleticism to come around those screens. And Salama hopefully doesn't
This is a
miss too many shifts.
A public service announcement to all you young lacrosse players to wear all of your equipment when you're playing the game of lacrosse. Look, I don't even know what to say.
How about wearing all of your clothes when you come to a lacrosse game, too? It is beach night, tiki night here. The Roughnecks in their beach-themed jerseys. Always fun atmosphere in here. One of the second overall in attendance this season for Calgary, averaging 11,429 fans a night. Electric atmosphere here at the Saddledome.
Pace to Dixon. Shot scores! A little stutter step got Adam J on his heels. Frank Chiliano couldn't decide if he was stepping out or stepping back. And Dixon's got his second of the night. A quick response from Calgary.
And a quick release by Dixon. That's the all-important secondary goal scoring that they need. As he comes around, fakes low, comes around up high, shoots it around. Adam J. Good footwork, and even better finish by Hayden Dixon, who started this year, Teddy. There's one point he was the leading goal scorer on this team, ahead of Pace, ahead of King. Slowed down a little bit mid-season, but he's a power forward with silky smooth hands, and he puts the Roughnecks back on top by 4.
From Delta, BC with more, here's Chantel Chen.
Yeah, earlier in the season I had a chance to speak with Hayden, and he talked about how now he has a carved role. He said his first year he didn't get to play as much, but this year he's getting more opportunities, and he feels like he also gets the other guys going. Teddy, Brad.
Thank you, Chantel, and that is just guys committing to the team aspect. It's not always going to be your night. And Hayden Dixon's one of those guys that does a lot of dirty work for this Calgary squad. Here's Pace. to King. He'll work a two-man game with Tanner Cook on the far side. 5 on the shot clock for King. Pace, Cook, shot. And Chiliano didn't get a piece of it. Shot clock violation on the Roughnecks. Good defense there by Saskatchewan.
The guy we just highlighted, Mike Messenger, getting in the way of that shot from Tanner Cook. 2 big physical presence.
And little inside swim move, heavily guarded there by Tysers. Keenan flips it inside. Dodds takes a high stick, running his man Suoka. He's got a man with him. Tysers to King off the bench. Clutch double fake and just put it wide. Can Saskatchewan run the other way? 4-on-2 for the Russian Green. Up ahead, Church, Barnable, Church. Backhander, put it wide.
One of those situations where there's too many options. Barnable, you're looking at Robert Church, one of the best goal scorers in the league, but you're right on top of Del Bianco. Let it rip.
Heavy shot by Keenan, turned aside by Del Bianco. Courier had King up ahead, but Messenger sprinted all the way back to deny the transition opportunity. 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Pace off a pick from a Hogard. Pace shot off the far pipe. Fresh 30 rebound to King. And that's Tyler Pace's wheelhouse right there. Pace again, this time to Tanner Cook. All the way around the top, back to Jesse King. Shot high and wide, loose ball. And that'll be an over and back. As Garrett Smith will run onto this one. Free possession for number 95 in green and black. Here's Clark Walter. Swim move, step back, Church. It's hands free, trying to go far low, kicked aside by Del Bianco.
Robert Church leads this team in shots, but that's one of his better looks so far tonight. And a lot coming from the lefties.
There's Jesse King. Floats high off a double seal, skipped it to Josh Courier. He gets underneath, spin move, drives, dives, and great defense there by Holden Garland to stay with Courier the whole way and knock him to the turf. Boudreaux will give up to Mans and go for a change. Ryder Whitby, Ryan Keenan to Church. Off a pick there from Dodds. Circles high now, Keenan. Back to Church, inside to Dodds. Twister just put it wide. Loose ball, Keenan, shot, deflected up and out of play. It'll stay here when we come back. 5-1 is your score. Calgary in control over Saskatchewan. They're here to defend their city and protect their own. The team is stronger together as a new episode of The Rookie airs Tuesday on CTV.
Coincidentally enough,
You're a big fan of The Rookie?
there's no rookies in this game. If you can
That is
believe
coincident.
that.
That is. Five-1 is your score. Shots 22-21 in favor of the Roughnecks. 4:15 remaining here in this one. Keenan demands as Saskatchewan will come out of the timeout with a little set play here. Cross-board pick for Keenan. Into the corner, Triolo. Watched there by Courier. Outside shot, deflected, picked off. Clear-cut breakaway, Courier all alone. Shot, scores! Courier finally gets one, and Chiliano immediately calls for the challenge flag, and I think he might have a case. Courier had one eye on Triolo trying to run him down.
It's disappointing when goals this nice get called back, because this is, you look up Zach Courier in the dictionary and it's block a shot, turn it into a transition opportunity up the floor. This one doesn't go in cleanly on the land. This might be close here, Teddy's. Look at the replay on TSN. Yeah, that's coming back. It's a bounce shot 5-hole and his foot lands before that ball crosses the goal line. Great shot by our production team here at the Saddle Dome. Goes off of Frankie's
in the business. And Courier just still no luck.
remember
Saskatchewan is challenging the call on the field of a good goal.
we were here weeks ago, and he scored his first of the season and took the monkey off his back and threw it down on the turf. I was half expecting that to happen again because he hasn't scored since. But talked to Josh Anderson this week. He's not concerned about the offensive production from Courier whatsoever. This guy's 150 loose balls, near the tops of the league, and caused turnovers again. He's doing everything, and he's had 2 glorious opportunities tonight.
Yeah, there's the foot down as it goes off the stick, off his left leg of Chiliano. Stick, leg, foot down, then the ball crosses. So Chiliano got just enough. And shouldn't take Ryan Fowler very long. But to go back to Josh Anderson's point, I think with the emergence of Simpson and a guy like Harrison Matsuoka scoring in transition, they don't need Courier to be that #1 threat. They would rather him playing shutdown defense, blocking shots, finding loose balls in the corner, starting the transition, and give him some rest at times.
Yeah, and he's really honed his defensive game the last couple of seasons. When he did come into the league, he tried to do everything. Maybe spread himself a little thin, and it's about focusing on the defensive side of things first, which he's really been successful at this season. He's one of the top goal preventers on his defense, along with Jeff Cornwall. Those are 2 sort of the guys that get in front of the most shots, get on the hands, some of the quicker defenders for this Roughnecks team.
Second in the NLL with 152 loose balls. He's only 100 or so behind Jake Withers, who's leading the National Cross League, but 1,124 loose balls in his career.
Courier also 34% in the face-off dot this year, and they're happy when Justin Anasio is healthy and can come into this lineup and take draws and take that load off of Zach Courier.
So, not sure if they're having some technical issues down in the box with crew chief Ryan Fowler, but the Calgary players are all in the defensive zone, so they feel like this is going to be a no goal. And usually that's a telltale sign. And yeah, just the screen is frozen for Ryan Fowler. But you're right, Courier is just one of those, like Mike Messenger, you know, like a Challen Rogers, like a Reed Bowering. So many guys across the NLL that are just universally good at a little bit of everything. And that is sort of becoming the new norm.
Every team needs one. Every team needs 1 or 2 of those utility players that you can put in every situation. Loose ball team, penalty kill, get up in transition when you need them. They just provide that extra bit of spark and danger. And Courier and Messenger, the 2 guys here tonight, exemplify that better than almost anybody.
All right, Ryan Fowler's got his decision. Let's see what he says.
After review, the shooter touches down in the crease prior to the ball crossing the plane of the goal. Call on the
So no goal is the call. Courier's still stuck on 1 goal this season. And good job there by the goaltender, Frank Chiliano, just to be aware of his surroundings in his own crease and know that that should have been a thrown flag instantly. So it remains 5-1. Just under 4 minutes to play in the half. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, Chantel will chat with one of the players of this game. We'll look around the NLL on a busy weekend as we march towards May. 9 games in total this weekend. Inside Keenan. Oh, it's another nice save by Del Bianco. Big hit by Cornwall on Patrick Dodd. Calgary trying to run again. 3-on-2. Simpson. Ticers back to Simpson. And he'll slow it down, let the offense go to work. But Christian Del Bianco denying Keenan on the doorstep again.
Shots are even in this game. It's 22-22. And you're really looking at a difference maker between the pipes. The rusher in a perfect position to score there.
Pace inside, just put it wide as he cut in all alone off ball.
Rush needs to just keep chipping away. Those best looks have been the cutters from the crease. You want to see Zach Mans do a little bit of that. Clark Walter.
Messenger far side. Skips it to Clark Walter. One-on-one with Ticehurst. Gets to the middle of the floor. Shot turned aside by the left leg of Delbianco. Church in there battling. And nice job by Robert Church to find that loose ball and kick it ahead to Mike Messenger, who will go get a fresh breath.
That's huge. When your best offensive player comes across the floor to battle for a Lucy like that, you better help him out and try to capitalize.
Church now inside feet. Keenan, and he finally gets one. Almost a carbon copy, the last chance. Church to Keenan to the back of the net. Give Ryan Keenan 27 goals.
New career high for Ryan Keenan on the second possession. Talk about how big that loose ball is for Robert Church. Well, now you've got a defense that has just played 20-30 seconds. And they swing the ball around east-west. And Church with a nice floater inside to Keenan, who goes low past Delbianco. Again, they're getting to these danger spots on the floor. More often than not, though, Delbianco has absolutely denied them, but not that time on Ryan Keenan.
How about the feed from Church into a phone booth as Ticehurst was all over Keenan cutting through the middle. Ignacio and Bobby Kidd III at the dot. Ignacio wins it, tried to flip it to his defensive partner, but a nice job by Bobby Kidd III and Isaac Inju to cause a turnover as it falls to Boudreau. Here's Keenan. Plants his feet, shot sails wide, loose ball. Delbianco has a man all the way up ahead. It's Courier. Courier, swim move, double team. Flips it back to Simpson, but Saskatchewan. Great job getting back in numbers, but Simpson still battling. Takes a bunt there from Jared Smith, and up ahead, Connor McClellan will come away with it. Church now. Assisted on both rush goals. Backhand flip just out of the reach of Kazesnikov. Mans. Plants his feet, shot right off the chest. Running on a break. Van Scheppen! Oh, what a save, Chiliano! As Van Scheppen used his long legs to outrun the D. But again, Frank Chiliano there to keep this a 3-goal game with under a minute to play.
It's a big stop. Man's a little lackadaisical on that loose ball that was bouncing. And Van Scheppen just takes it for a sprint.
Walter's shot goes wide. Kazevnikov couldn't find that loose ball. Somehow Clark Walter does. 8 on the shot clock. Split dodge, shovel shot goes well wide. And Keenan will fire a late one.
Broken stick on the play, bodies everywhere. This is physical playoff atmosphere lacrosse here in the Battle of the Prairies.
Calgary's gonna have to get a shot off here before the shot clock expires. And if Saskatchewan can gain possession, expect them to call a timeout and go 6-on-5. King to Pace. Hogarth sets a screen. Pace can't get his hands free. Twister shot at the buzzer. Timeout Saskatchewan. 9.2 remaining. Good defense by the Rush.
Great defense by the Rush. Team defense. Holden Garland gets in the way of Pace there, but just no one to pass to. Every defender using their feet, using their athleticism to take away any sort of passing opportunity. And now they'll have last possession and a big opportunity to get within 2.
Kylie Rochelle will have tag coming up at halftime. We'll look around the NLL as there are 3 other games tonight, including a championship rematch between the Bandits and Mammoth down in Denver. And we'll take a look at the Canadian teams and see where they stand in the unified standings as we're on the march to May and just a few weekends left before the playoffs start. What can Jimmy Quinlan draw up for his offense with one last opportunity, 6-on-5? They worked a few plays this morning in shoot-around. Can they find one special play to get them back to within 2 at the half?
I'd like to see them try to get something going for Robert Church. He's been defended very tightly in the first half of this game. And a goal for him could go a big way for momentum into the second half.
Eli Salama back out on the turf, so that's good news for the Roughneck fans, as they'll bring Ticehurst off and let Salama maintain his spot on the defensive 6-on-5. Triolo up the floor to Mans, quick shot blocked in front. That one hit Keenan, never made it on target. So a good look for Mans, but unfortunately hit his own man in front.
They lead in shots to the Saskatchewan Rush, but it's been that man right there, Christian Delbianco, who's all smiles, who's absolutely shut the door, made 23 saves already tonight. But Frank Scigliano, no slouch of his own. He's allowed 5 through 30 minutes of playoff atmosphere lacrosse action.
Tanner Cook's got a goal here tonight, and he's down on the floor with Chantel Chan.
Tanner, only 7 goals combined together from both teams in the first half. Did you guys expect this one to be a low-scoring affair?
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to be a battle. Both teams got extraordinary goaltending, so, you know, we got to find our opportunities and find the back of the net.
Yeah, you have 1 goal here tonight so far. How important is it for your Calgary Roughnecks to keep this going offensively in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, historically, our game's been a little bit low-scoring than the rest. You know, we want to get that number to, you know, above 10, and that's kind of our goal, about, you know, 13, 14 goals here, and that's what we're trying to do tonight.
What do you think the difference is going to be in the second half?
Just bring our effort. I mean, it's going to be a battle here playing again tomorrow night, so sending a message here, and, you know, hopefully we're coming on the right side tomorrow, or tonight, and both.
Good luck in the second half.
Thanks.
Teddy, Brad.
So many things to keep track of during a busy NLL weekend. Thank you, Chantel. It was a hot start for the Calgary Roughnecks as they jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Saskatchewan's gotten a couple back. We'll break it all down for you. It's the NLL Game of the Week, Roughnecks and Rush on TSN. The drill crew doing their thing at halftime as Calgary leads Saskatchewan 5-2. Let's check on what's going around the National Lacrosse League socials with Kylie Rochelle and Tagged.
Panther City may have had a bye weekend last week, but that didn't keep them from winning April Fools. The team shared some headshots, Coach Tracy style, as well as switching Coach Tracy and Caputo's signature looks. The Firewolves are throwing it back for Retro Night this weekend when they play as their former identity of Albany Attack. We love to see these specialty threads that will be auctioned off post-game, and the guys are clearly loving their old identity. Use hashtag NLL on TSN to join the conversation. I'm Kylie Rochelle, and you just got tagged.
Fire dancers getting it going here, keeping things hot inside the Rough House. Come back on TSN where we break down an exciting first half. Welcome back to halftime here in Calgary. There are a look at your halftime stats. Shots 26-23, loose balls 38-27, both in favor of the Rush, who trail by 3. It was a wild and crazy first half between these two clubs, and we knew it was going to be a battle of the prairie game between the Rush and Roughnecks. Always pays the bills, and it was awesome right from the start.
Low scoring, but high intensity, high physicality. and fantastic, phenomenal defensive play on both sides of the ball. Eli Salama, they missed him for a couple games this season, but when he's on his game, he's one of the best lockdown defenders in the sport, and great team defense by the Calgary Roughnecks. Matt Swoka on his man, Cornwall slides over for some help. That's how you play defense. And for the Saskatchewan Rush, they're led by Mike Messenger, a guy who does everything on a lacrosse floor. He's physical, he's punishing, and even inadvertently blocking shots just in the right spot. Gets his sticks in lanes too, causes turnovers, and he's helped out immensely for the Saskatchewan Rush team that's only allowed 5 through the first 30 minutes.
Harrison Matsuoka had a stellar first half for the Calgary Roughnecks. Watch this one-on-one battle. Much smaller body against the bigger Mike Triolo. Foot position, body position, gets him behind the net, causes the turnover. Teammates come out and help. And then at the other end, skinny post, QB1 to WR2. And Matsuoka finds the back of the net, gets a little face wash from Adam James. Speaking of the QB1, the reigning goaltender of the year and MVP, Christian Del Bianco, full value.
A fun wrinkle coming into this one. Del Bianco and the Roughnecks have only allowed 6 goals in each of the last 4 outings against the Rush. That is far below NLL standards. He's allowed 2 through the first 30 minutes. The Rush offense, they were penetrating the middle. They had power play opportunities. They had good looks, but Christian Del Bianco shut the door every opportunity he could. For the Saskatchewan Rush, you know, you got to keep doing the same thing in the second half. They have to be happy with their shot selection and where they were placing the ball and where they were getting on the floor. But Christian Del Bianco, too much through 30.
There's a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here on a Friday, 5-5 at halftime between Buffalo and Colorado. Panther City beating San Diego 1-0, and Halifax and Vancouver scoreless early out in BC. Tomorrow night, another busy night. Biggest game of the weekend, though, other than the game 2 of this back-to-back, Toronto and Albany, number 1 versus number 3 in the unified standings. And of course, we get Sunday Fun Day, Wings and Panther City. Speaking of the unified standings, the 5 Canadian teams are in a battle across the National Lacrosse League, trying to get into the postseason. Toronto, well, they're going to be there. Halifax, most likely going to be there. But Vancouver, Calgary, Saskatchewan, all trying to find a way to the big dance.
Yeah, Toronto's already clinched a playoff spot. They're now playing for first overall and home field advantage throughout the postseason. Halifax can clinch with the win tonight. And then this battle between Saskatchewan and Calgary, we talked about it. This will have to be pretty much a sweep for one of these teams this weekend to get themselves into the postseason. And the final Canadian team, the Vancouver Warriors, if they lose tonight and get some poor help across the standings, they can be eliminated. But if they win, they're keeping their hopes alive too, Teddy. So nothing done for the other 3 Canadian teams in Calgary, Saskatchewan, and Vancouver.
Yeah, and we've got to talk about this Vancouver team who has just really turned things around the last few weeks since Aiden Walsh has taken over the starting role from Aaron Bolden. Really starting to believe in Kurt Malosky's message.
Yeah, it's really coming to fruition. All their roles are defined now. Keegan Ball's finding another level to his game, and you're right, Aiden Walsh providing some steady minutes on that back end. The defense has been a strong point all season long, but now they're getting goals from Charlene Beatties and Ball and Kevin Crowley. And if they win today, what a streak and what a story the Vancouver Warriors could be.
5-2 at halftime, third quarter coming up next. It is hot in Calgary. Welcome back to beautiful, chilly Calgary as it snowed here in springtime. Jimmy Quinlan is no stranger to the Roughnecks Rush rivalry. He's down on the floor with Chantel Chan.
Jimmy, your club is down by 3 goals. What was your message to them in the locker room?
We got to stick with it. I mean, goals are hard to come by on both sides out here right now. We got to stick with it, and we just got to stay to the game plan and keep getting stops and do a better job shooting the ball.
Obviously, Robert Church has been such an important piece offensively for this club. How do you get him going in the second half?
Yeah, we got to create space. I mean, they're doing a good job extending out on him. We got to work a little harder to free him up. He's had some chances. He'll be better. I know he will.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chantel, and thanks, Jimmy. And he's right. The offense just got to stay with it. They're getting their opportunities. We mentioned it. 23 saves on 25 shots. Del Bianco just playing out of his mind, but they're getting good quality looks. They can't get frustrated away from the message of just get inside, keep going.
Yeah, they should be happy with where they've been on the floor. Zach Mans has been able to get to the middle of the floor, those danger areas. So is Clark Walter. But Jimmy Quinlan, I think, is obviously exactly right. They need to free up Robert Church. They've got the luxury of Triolo and Kneznikov and guys that can crash and bang for him more so than the lefties have. Use that to their advantage. Try to get Robert Church open, who has 121 points in his career against Calgary alone, Teddy. So no stranger to shooting on Christian Delbianco and finding the shots that he likes. You just need to find some ways to get him open and let him see the net.
Speaking of points, Tyler Pace leads everyone with a goal and 2 assists. His 3 points puts him at 297, 3 points away from 300 in his professional career.
Good loose ball by Enju to get the first possession of this half.
Here's Robert Church, closely guarded there by Zach Currier. Gives it off to Triolo, got the first goal for the Rush. Triolo matched there with Currier. Keenan far side now. 10 on the shot clock. Keenan behind the net man. Tried to dunk it. Delbianco read it the whole way. First dunk attempt we've seen tonight from Zach Mans, who's very adept from behind the goal line. Now King, inside feed, Pace shot right on target. And Chiliano didn't really have to move that much to make that save on top of his crease. Running his BK3. Keegan Bell will pass and go for a change. Dodds, 2 fresh bodies come on. Clark Walter has it. Back to Dodds. Gets a pick, gives it off to Keenan. 8 on the shot clock. Keenan on his wrong side. Twister far side, turned aside by the left glove. Running is Salama. He's got Mans watched all over. Salama finds it. And that shot by Jeff Cornwall, who's actually wearing 25 now. As turns out he got a little blood on the number 3, so Cornwall now wearing 25.
He's punished on the shot by Messenger, who came flying down the floor. Take away the transition opportunity, help out Zach Mans, who looked a little indecisive on how to play that.
Outside rip and a goal. That's a great start for the Saskatchewan Rush, as Keenan gets his second of the night, and it's 5-3.
Quick in the shot clock, early attack here as the Rush bring it up the floor. Ryan Keenan wastes no time getting one on the cage. Callie just gives him a little swat. Simpson is out in that body position, not exactly square to Keenan, who just takes one step back towards the boards and fires that one. And that's one that the Rush needed. Probably the first one. Well, Delbianco's only allowed 3. One that he wanted back.
Another face-off win for Messenger against Ignacio. Keenan's got back-to-back here for the Rush, pushing his season total to 28. Triolo now. Shoots across the top. Shot again early in the shot clock. Turned aside by Delbianco. Maybe trying to get him sort of out of his comfort zone by shooting early. Church. Clark Walter far corner. Watched by Salama. Pushed out, now Triolo. To Mans. ISO on Salama. Split dodge to Dodds from way out. That one missed by 10 feet. Loose ball to Mans. Heavy shot save, Delbianco.
It's been a good matchup tonight. Salama and Mans, 2 elite players in the National Lacrosse League. Mans so athletic, has a good jab step, tries to get himself up top, and Salama stays with them the whole way before that turnover.
Hogarth had to be careful. Keegan Bell on his back coming out of the gate. And here's Tanner Cook. To Dan Taylor. Now the captain, Jesse King, trying to post up. Does he get his hands free? He does. Put it wide on the short side. First 3 minutes, very much improved defensive shifts from Saskatchewan.
Keeping Calgary to the outside. They haven't had many good looks to start this half at all. Conversely, this offense for Saskatchewan moving the ball well.
Church shot. Saved Delbianco. Didn't know where it was. Quickly up ahead, Leclerc. He's got Simpson with him. Liam Leclerc. Shot. Oh, nice save by the right leg of Chiliano. Just got a piece as Messenger played that 2-on-1 perfect.
On the prowl, just went straight for Leclerc to take his shot opportunity away. The scary man running towards you at full steam.
Dodds to Mans. Triolo shot saved Del Bianco. He's got Cornwall up ahead of him. Long shot from well out from Jeff Cornwall.
Saskatchewan just chucking rubber. And looks like they're trying to get rebounds. Every time they take a shot, they've got a guy crashing on the crease. Try to pick up some garbage from Del Bianco.
Zebnikov to Clark Walter. Couldn't hold on to it, but he'll get the loose ball. Walter across the top. Church couldn't handle the hot pass. And Matsuoka just fishes it to the corner. Courier works on his puck handling skills. That's one thing I'm seeing a lot more is just heads up play by defenders when they realize the shot clock's winding down. They'll just kick it, push it, bump it into the corner, let the shot clock die instead of getting into trouble.
We'll muck it up a little bit. You have to be smart and aware of time, situation.
There's Dan Taylor. Pick and pop with King. Couldn't handle it. Loose ball. Connor McClellan. Can Pace catch him? Connor McClellan on a breakaway. Put it wide. And then King nonchalantly catches that Willie Mays style over his shoulder.
Del Bianco thanking Pace on the way to the bench as he just stayed with them enough to kind of disrupt McClellan, force some indecision. But you haven't seen a ton of Saskatchewan transition tonight. It's been Calgary on the sprint and taking away Saskatchewan's transition game.
Tanner Cook, watched there by Jared Smith. Thought about throwing a backhand. Now we'll just try to chuck one on net. He does. Turned aside Chiliano.
The tight defensive shift.
Jared Smith to Zach Mans. Dodds. Now Church. Late man is the captain, Ryan Keenan. He has the ball. Shot. Illegal screen on Mans. And we will go to break. Ryan Keenan has back-to-back goals for the Saskatchewan Rush to pull them within a pair. 9:20 to go here in the third quarter. It's the game of the week on TSN. Welcome back to Calgary. 5-3 Roughnecks leading. It feels like March here in Calgary. We want it to feel like May as we march to May. Those guys are definitely feeling May. Mega May vibes.
They're feeling something
from the fans here inside the Roughos. It is Tiki Night, second to last home game for the Roughnecks this season. And they have possession now, leading by 2. Here's the captain, Jesse King. One-on-one with Keegan Bell. Gives it off to Pace, watched by Jared Smith. Hogarth pops through the middle, and the pass just out of his long arms. They're really trying to find that inside roller off those picks, especially off a cross-floor feed. Church. One-on-one with Matsuoka. Church, shot there, put wide by Triolo. Church had a shot wide open, opted to pass it. Now Mann gets his hands free, puts it just wide, and then gets his own rebound with 8 on the shot clock. Church shot. Del Bianco got a piece. And look at Eli Salama climbing the ladder to find that loose ball.
And has to do a great job balancing act not to land in the crease, tiptoes the line. Gets the ball back after some pressure by the Saskatchewan Rush.
Aiden Dixon gets a pick there from Pace, gives it to Tanner Cook. Cook shot wide, rebound, scores! Great job by Jesse King to roll to the middle, corral that loose ball as it careened off the end boards, airborne. It's a 3-goal game.
What a finish. In tight from Jesse King. Tanner Cook's calling for the ball. I think he liked this one-on-one matchup. But King, the perfect pick off the glass. The roll, the catch, the hands, the finish. Everything Jesse King brings to the table. That is a pretty goal. Back on top by 3.
Chiliano just couldn't get back into position to stop King from scoring. And the captain has his 26th of the season. Cook and Hayden Dixon picking up assists. Cook now joins the three-point parade, as does Dixon. Cook, King, Pace, Dixon, all with 3 for Calgary. Jared Smith running away from trouble, throws it away, picked up there by Simpson. Good job by Van Scheppen to force Smith into the turnover.
Yeah, some indecision. It was a good face-off loose ball as Messenger just bullies Inacio, ties him up. Now loose ball wide open for Smith, but didn't know what to do with it once he had it.
Courier on the far side, watched there by Enju. Gets a pick from Dixon, gives it off to Taylor. Taylor spins underneath, dives, shoots, scores! 2 goals, quick succession. Calgary back up by 4.
Starting to find underneath now, 2 in a row in very similar fashion for the lefties to get inside. Pace basically locked off in that corner. They swing over to the lefties. And nice look by Taylor, just spins away and beats Bobby Kidd III, who gets caught chasing.
Yeah, unlucky there for the 2 rush defenders as Barnable opened his hips. BK3 pushed down, and with no low help, that just allowed Dan Taylor a wide open lane to get underneath. And it's now 7-4 as Josh Courier picks up an assist on the goal. His second point of the night. And it was a 2-goal game just a few minutes ago as Saskatchewan had a little bit of momentum. But Calgary quickly stops that run with 2 of their own. Cornwall up ahead, Matsuoka. Running down the lane, it's Courier. He'll give it right back to Matsuoka. Smart play there, not to force anything. Now Jesse King. Cook flashes, gets it back, trying to go 5-hole, and a huge save by Frank Chiliano.
Cook was already celebrating, had his arms in the air. And Josh Anderson applauds the effort. He said this week that sometimes this team has been known to have lulls this season for the Calgary Roughnecks. They need to find a killer instinct. They've had that here in the last few minutes, going to the goal hard with 3 chances right on top of the doorstep. And they cash in on 2 of them.
Zepnikov had Del Bianco leaning the wrong way, but CDB got just enough to keep it out. King watched by Messenger. Big pick there by Dan Taylor for King. Backhand flip, Taylor spins off his man. Backhand shot, tried to catch Giuliano leading. But Frank the Tank makes the save. Barnable running now. Slow numbers here for Saskatchewan. Barnable to Keenan. Walter in the corner. Comes to the middle of the floor, shoots and he scores! Great job there by Clark Walter. Saw Calgary, didn't have the numbers back, took advantage, and he beats Del Bianco's short side.
Uses some screen too. Sweeps the top. And maybe fires a little early for Del Bianco, not expecting it as he comes around. A lot of bodies in front. Quick way to turn the corner, punished by King on the play. This has been a good look tonight for Saskatchewan. Walter, Keenan, and Dodds have all been able to get to that spot on the floor and get their shots off. 3-goal game again.
Keenan and Barnable will pick up assists. Keenan now joins the 3-point party, 2 goals, 1 assist. And Messenger wins another draw clean, but it now pops free. Can Inacio beat Jared Smith to this loose ball? And Smith gets a rough ride from Inacio. They'll give possession to Saskatchewan. Back to a 3-goal game under 6 minutes of play in the 3rd quarter. Shots 36-28 in favor of the Rush. Comes big Mike Trio, inside feed just under the reach of Zach Mans. Trio gets a pick from Church, in all alone, shot, trying to go 5-hole. Del Bianco kept it out with the right leg. Another quality look for Robert Church.
Yeah, you have to be happy with that look if you're Saskatchewan. Really, it's a great 2-man effort. Robert Church all alone, your best goal scorer right on top of the crease.
Pace to Cook. 10 on the shot clock for Calgary. Into Hoger. Oh my goodness! Rack it, save it, hang it in the Louvre. Goal of the year from Thomas Hogarth.
Sometimes you can't even describe what you just witnessed. Sit back, relax, and watch Thomas Hogarth pull out some magic against Frank Scigliano. Between the legs, far side, cutting across the crease. No looker, heroic effort from Thomas Hogarth, who's back in the lineup and back into the hearts of the Roughnecks faithful.
What a goal. With more on Thomas Hogarth. Down the floor, Chantel Chan.
Yeah, when I spoke to Thomas earlier this season, he said that he knew he wanted to sign with Calgary because of all of his friends on the team. He felt like he didn't really have a good start to the season, but he felt like at one point he would be able to score some goals that we just saw him do, guys.
13 goals, 4 assists, Cy Young numbers for Thomas Hogarth, but that is just the way he plays. He's always on top of the crease, finding loose balls, working hard, and that's just another example of the sweet mitts on number 91.
Draws penalties, gets guys open, and nice to see him get a goal and drop the jaws of everyone in this barn.
Pace, as the buzzer was winding down, gets his second of the night, squeaks it past Scigliano. Calgary with all the momentum here.
Momentum is tangible in this building. This building gets loud. The floor starts tilting downhill. And when you get a goal like Hogarth followed up from outside heat from Tyler Pace, things starting to snowball here on the Rush.
And in comes young Thomas Kaiser from the Nepean, Ontario, the burgeoning hotbed of lacrosse. 13.64 goals against, a 50% save percentage, only give up 1 goal. In a young body.
In a total of 4 minutes and 24 seconds that he's seen this season. So probably just be a short breather for Frank Scigliano. Calm the nerves, they'll swap out in a second here, I imagine.
Isaac doesn't want to get off the floor, and they do make the switch. So, what's that, 4 minutes and 38 seconds in his career? He'll get time. He's a quality young goaltender, has a very bright future in the National Lacrosse League. Triolo from deep, off the shoulder of Del Bianco, fresh 30, Saskatchewan. Triolo sets a screen for Church. He fires, blocked by the right glove of Del Bianco. He is in a zone right now.
You can hear these shots too. They're shooting with such ferocity. Hit falling off Del Bianco.
Bouncer goes wide.
38 shots on goal now.
Just happy to let this ball roll, kill some time. This is just ridiculous. He's playing street hockey behind his own net. And Saskatchewan picks it up, but it's still going to be a shot clock violation. He was just playing for the TV timeout, killing some time. But let's rewind and go back and show me some Thomas Hogarth. When we come back, we will show you 9-4 Calgary. Welcome back to Calgary, where the Roughnecks have a 5-4 lead. 2 of the best in the business, and just do everything all over the floor.
From different ends of the country, Messenger from the Coquitlam lacrosse hotbed in the west, Zach Currier from Peterborough, Ontario, the hotbed in the east. They both take face-offs. They both cause turnovers. They play fantastic defense. They push the pace, but they couldn't do it in different ways. Mike Messenger's the bully on the lacrosse floor, and Zach Currier an athletic specimen, one of the fastest, smartest players in this game. Two different beasts from two different jungles in Canada.
King tried to go short side on Chiliano, just missed. And he gets trapped in the back of the netting. Saskatchewan possession with under 3 minutes to go here in the third. Remember, Christian Delbianco has held Saskatchewan to 6 goals in 4 straight games. They're sitting at 4 right now. He is on pace. Here's Zach Mann. Dodds skips it. Clark Walter had a pop in and out of his stick. A great look from Dodds to Walter, but he couldn't pull the trigger. Now he's double teamed in the corner. Swim move past trouble. Couple extra sticks to the helmet. Wanted a call. None coming.
Saskatchewan is the highest scoring road team in the National Lacrosse League this season. They're 4-4 away from SaskTel Center, but have scored 105 goals. I think that 109 now away from Saskatchewan. But they're running into Delbianco tonight.
Heavy outside shot from pace, turned aside by Chiliano. Robert Church has 51 of his 82 points coming into tonight on the road. Here's Cook. Taylor working hard to set the screen. Cook inside had Chiliano down. Taylor couldn't find the rebound. Enju can't either. Now he will. Nice little pickup by Isaac Enju. Slow numbers here. 10,993 here inside the Rough House. Another unbelievable turnout here by the fans in Calgary. And I love to see some Oiler jerseys over there too in enemy territory. There's Kazepnikov. Shot blocked by Salama. And he finds that loose ball. Check that. That was Van Scheppen. And he'll peel away from trouble. And Messier going to come over, hound Van Scheppen, who passes it off to Pace. Final minute to go here in the third. Hope you're enjoying this one wherever you're watching. Chantel Chan, Brad Chowner, Teddy Jenner, and our entire TSN crew. Here's Hogarth. Low to high, turned aside by Chiliano. Jared Smith being hounded. Great job there by the Calgary player. That was Hogarth. Check that, Dixon, but he turned it over. And Clark Walter from a tough angle. Takes a rough ride into the end boards. Delbianco had to be careful of Walter.
It's not the possession they want at this juncture. Quick, maybe looking for that 2-for-1, but not enough time as Delbianco hangs on to it. Calgary's wondering where the shot clock's at.
And now Delbianco will go to the bench for 6 on 5. 10 on the shot clock in game clock. Pace to King. Shot, oh, he had Chiliano down again and just missed the far corner. But that's how the quarter will end.
It's started off all Saskatchewan in this third quarter. They came out with some life. They came out peppering, still out shooting by a long shot the Calgary Roughnecks. But then the Roughnecks' muscle, offensive wizardry comes to life. And momentum all swinging now the way of the Roughneck for the final 15 minutes.
And it is starting to get a little testy. It took 45 minutes. But we're starting to see some life in this game. What does the final 15 have in store? We'll have to come back and find out. "15 minutes of regulation time left. It has been a goaltender's duel between Frank Chiliano and Christian Delbianco, and more on their friendly foe rivalry. Here's Chantel Chan.
Yeah, Christian Delbianco and Frank Chiliano, they're more than just opponents. They're actually really good friends. I had a chance to speak with Christian earlier, and he told me that Delbianco Contracting, it is a company from Coquitlam, and they're actually working on Frank Chiliano's house. Now, I asked Christian, what are you guys actually working on? And Frank Chiliano interrupted me and said, we're working on absolutely everything. Christian said that they're spending way too much time together, but that they've been friends for an extremely long time. And actually, this is a picture of them on their roof having a great old time. But I also found out that Christian Delbianco was a groomsman in Frank Chiliano's wedding. So just the best of buds. But we know in the fourth quarter, both of these guys are going to have to make some crazy saves. Teddy, Brad?
A wonderful father-son duo, always spending time together. A great relationship as teammates when they were here in Calgary, and it continues off the floor as well.
And photo credit Darren Fridge as well, former scout with the Rush organization, maybe still is, a National Lacrosse League player. But yeah, these two push each other to be better, like all great friends and great opponents should do. And it's been a fantastic goaltending duo. For the bulk of this game is Holden Garland. Put some smoke on a transition shot.
Messenger won the draw clean, pushed the tempo, and that's what Saskatchewan's going to have to do here. Going to have to go early and often to get back into this game. And Holden Garland, with his first of the year, taking a page out of Robert Church's book to go far down past Del Bianco's far shoulder.
And we saw him earlier tonight with the clipboard, taking charge, and just what leaders do in games like this. Holden Garland makes things interesting here. 4-goal game.
Won a Minto Cup with Six Nations back in 2017, the 4th overall pick in 2019 by the Rush. His last goal, April 15, 2023 versus Halifax. So that's almost a year-long goal-scoring drought for number 7.
One of their best lockdown defenders, a loose ball guy, a cause turnover guy, and the heart and soul of their D-corps.
Here's Jesse King working around a couple screens from Tanner Cook. Gets to the middle, has the ball pop out of his stick. Now Saskatchewan trying to run 3-on-2 here for the Rush. Barnable, man off the bench is Church. Dip it, dunk, score! Oh, they wave it off for Crease. Jimmy Quinlan's gonna want to look at this one. His Church is denied on a Crease call.
Still no replay in house. You almost have to throw the flag now.
Here's King. To Pace. Gets a pick from Hogarth. Cook, long shot, saved Chiliano. And no flag from Jimmy Quinlan.
He's super conservative with it.
We get word from our producer that his foot was on the line, so Quinlan wise not to throw it. Church shot, had his stick deflected. 15 on the shot clock for Ryan Keenan. Man's flashed to the middle and got a shot off, but Del Bianco again turned the shot aside for number 2.
Come out hot here in the first 90 seconds. They're playing like their season is on the line, and it absolutely is here.
As we said, a split does neither of these two teams any good in a hunt for a playoff spot. They gotta, one of these two teams has to win both if they're gonna make it to the playoffs. Cook pick and roll. Nice save by Chiliano, and it almost found its way behind him. Jared Smith was there with a wary eye, kept it out. Saskatchewan has Toronto and Buffalo to finish. Toronto and San Diego. Calgary has Buffalo and Panther City to finish.
Not easy roads for either one of these teams. Again, putting the importance on the sweep of the weekend.
Buffalo, Colorado tied at 10 right now down in Denver. A rematch of the last 2 Champions Cup finals. Triolo with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Swim move past Cornwall, shot, shoulder save, rebound, Church, and a nice stick check there by Courier. Now Church hammered from behind, penalty coming. Triolo didn't like the treatment Van Scheppen gave Robert Church, and Van Scheppen will head to the box. So this is a key power play coming for the Saskatchewan Rush, who are 0 for 1 so far with just 1 shot on net.
This will be the real estate Robert Church needs. And how often do we see a guy draw a penalty and come back and then score the goal?
Number 16, 2-minute minor boarding.
2-minute minor boarding as Messenger comes all the way off the bench and follows Van Scheppen to the box and say, hey, just so you know, we're going to remember that one.
Well, the best way to remember it at this stage is to put the ball in the back of the net. And Robert Church, despite not having a goal yet tonight, just the loose ball effort, when you get your leader chasing after loosies and getting bodied in the corner like that, that goes a long way. We'll see if the Rush can repay Robert Church, who's going to sit out the first set of this power play with his helmet off on the bench.
Triolo to Keenan, shot. Kick saving the beauty from Del Bianco. Loose ball, Clark Walton. Keenan, top center. Triolo, shot, another shoulder save. Loose ball, Dodds in the corner. Triolo, drag pick, Dodds shot, another shoulder save, Del Bianco. Loose ball, Cornwall to Leclerc, and he's able to jog across center uncontested. Pace will get it, watched there by Bobby Kidd III. Taylor sweeps across the top, throws back to King, spins away, gets a shot off and just missed. Pace with a quick one just at the end of the shot clock.
Church will come out on this power play set. See if they can get their leading scorer open for a good look. Del Bianco with 3 saves in a row on that last possession.
Triolo will set it up, gives it off to Mans. Double seal for Church, working his way through the trees. Skips it across, knocked down there by Leclerc. Loose ball in the corner. And Courier gonna come in. And nice job by Calgary just again to muck this up and let the clock wind down for a free possession. Courier will pick it up under the watchful eye of Isaac Enju. Float it to Cook, now Pace with 24 remaining on the minor to Van Sheppard. Cook throws it away as Taylor couldn't handle that pass, but it almost fell right to Tyler Pace. Fortuitous bounce there for Holden Garland and the rush.
Big penalty kill for the Calgary Roughnecks. Del Bianco, Leclerc mucking up the last possession.
Triolo tried to bounce when past Del Bianco was on his toes. Back to 5 aside, 3 shots for the rush on that power play. Church again denied by Del Bianco. He's got Simpson way up ahead, who's got King off the bench with them, but a tough bounce for Simpson, who did a nice job just staying with it. I think if Del Bianco was able to handle that one clean in his crease, Brad, Simpson was gone.
And now we'll watch some lengthy possessions by the Calgary Roughnecks. 4-goal lead.
Cook to King, up top. Josh Courier scores! Pulled it short side on Chiliano. It's a 5-goal game. Josh Courier with his first of the night.
Kill a penalty in the 4th quarter and then score another dagger. Courier's first of the night from deep. Josh Chiliano dropping off in here in this 4th quarter. Courier pulls it back short side. 5-goal game.
Big face-off here. Salamo will take this one against Messenger. Messenger has done a nice job here at the dot. Pops that one free. Tries to push Salama into trouble. Does. And Salama's slow to get up. Loose ball picked up there by Connor McClellan. Penalty coming to Calgary. Connor McClellan gets through the traffic. Kick save and a beauty, Del Bianco. Loose ball, Church, 6 on 5 here for Saskatchewan. 9:15 remaining in regulation. Late man is Dodds. Mans has it now out there with Keenan, Clark, Church, Triolo, and Dodds. Pass doesn't connect with Mans. Church inside, Keenan trying to go 5-hole, and Del Bianco shut the door.
They've shot high, they've shot low, they've shot inside.
And they've shot 50 times on Del Bianco. It's getting heated. 9 minutes left in Calgary. Welcome back to Calgary. As the Tiki fans are still enjoying it. Harry Matsuoka just having a little one-on-one time in the box. Having some words with Ron Getz, a couple Alberta legends. There's maybe a future NLL legend right there enjoying the game.
Harrison Matsuoka with massive goal tonight. Breakout season for the third-year player, Alberta. Okotoks, Alberta native, just down the street here in Calgary. And he's become a fan favorite, homegrown product that they're happy to have in their lineup. Josh Anderson said he's been probably his most surprising player this season. He didn't know a ton about him coming in, but just impressed his coaching staff all season.
Church goes wide late. The 30, we finally bangs one home. Church is first on the power play. Goes far piping in. Back to a 4-goal game as Robert Church gets his 41st of the season. And he now has 13 power play goals for the league lead.
It was just a matter of time. Wicked shot by Robert Church as he spins his hips. Looks like he's going to go far side, tucks it back short. And he just picked his spot perfectly on the power play. Still just a 4-goal game. Lots of lacrosse left to go.
Now Saskatchewan putting 3 offensive players all the way up on the offensive zone line. Adam Jay's the only defender back. And Calgary's got all 4 of their defenders back in their defensive zone. So they're just trying to negate the success that Mike Messenger's been having at the dot. A little officials timeout here. Ryan Fowler extends the message. Looks like we're good to go. Back to 5-on-5 lacrosse after the power play goal from Robert Church. Messenger and Courier at the dot.
Well, Ignacio, their primary face-off guy, has been getting chewed up a little bit by Messenger in this game. They're going to keep him on the bench as Courier takes that draw, so he can go back and play a shift on D if they give up the face-off like they just did. So a little adjustment. The Roughnecks face-off team is Ignacio having a tough time tonight against Messenger.
Here's Inju. Sorry, Clark Walter. 10 on the shot clock. Dodge. Inside, Church couldn't find it. Inside, Clark Walter scores! Back to back! There's still life in the Rush, and they break the 6-goal curse as they get the 7th of the evening. 16 on the season for Clark Walter.
We highlighted guys with career highs, and Clark Walter has been one of those and been one of the best offensive weapons for Saskatchewan tonight. Sparkplug, who keeps his feet moving. Bit of a broken play as it goes from behind the net. He cuts, and Callie's not able to pick up on the quick-footed Poco product. 3-goal game. Still lots of time to go.
And Josh Sanderson has thrown the challenge flag here. I think he might say that Robert Church went through the crease before he picked up that loose ball, so we'll see. But I kind of thought that at first glance. But they'll have to kind of go through the mechanics.
Call in the field, good goal.
And I think I'm going to say the challenge was too late. And so they're not going to be able to get that challenge in. And Josh Sanderson having some words with Ryan Dutkus. So Josh Sanderson not going to get that challenge in. But let's have a look here. And he looks like Church did just escape the crease. And so it'll stay a 3-goal game. Momentum now in favor of the Rush.
35 seconds to throw that flag. And Josh Sanderson outside of that, hence why they wave it off.
There's Keenan now. Stick check there by Salama. Keenan still battling. Walter in there as well. 10 on the shot clock. Clark Walter drives underneath. Great recovery check there from Ticehurst. Ticehurst back in the lineup after missing a few games. Now Cornwall up ahead. We'll give it to Tyler Pace. He's working on a 5-point night. 2 goals, 3 assists. Pace just missed. Loose ball to King. 10 on the shot clock, back to Pace, and he couldn't find that pass. Hogarth battling amongst 2 Rush defenders. That's Boudreau and Barnable.
Calgary got into some trouble against Albany where they weren't valuing the ball in the fourth quarter. They let Albany get back in that game that eventually went to overtime. You know, Josh Sanderson and his staff are going to get that message in right now. They have to value their possessions at this stage.
Mans. Implanted speed to shoot. Dodds will. Took a deflection, never made it on target. Mans, 5 on the shot clock. He'll shoot from deep. Kicked aside by Del Bianco. It goes up into the netting. Reset the 30. 6:36 remaining. Gazette fresh legs out there for Saskatchewan. Triolo trying to post up. Church across the top. Rebound. And Mans couldn't find it. Quickly up ahead. Simpson. And a nice job there by Connor McClellan to get back with speedy legs to deny the transition chance. Here's Josh Courier. He'll take it, had it blocked. Man running, it's Garland. And Chiliano won't force it up the floor.
Oh, and Garland was gone. And if Chiliano, not known for his outlet pass, is not confident in that ability to let that one fly.
Triolo on Matsuoka. Post up, dive, shot, put it wide. I think Del Bianco got a piece of it. Loose ball, nicely picked up there by Courier. He'll put the brakes on. Dan Taylor into the corner, Tanner Cook. Late man on the floor, Hayden Dixon. Cook one-on-one with Keegan Bell. 2 big bodies, inside flip, doesn't connect, but it falls right to Dixon! He's got the hat trick, and it stops the run of the Rush. 11-7, Calgary.
What a gift for Hayden Dixon. This ball pops right into his stick. On the floor, bounces off of Boudreau. One-handed grab and a nice looking shot. The pass intended for the man inside cutting. And Hayden Dixon, right place, right time. And that killer instinct to get a ball on the cage. Restores the 4-goal lead.
Tanner Cook has 7 points to lead all scorers here in this game. 1 goal, 6 assists for Tanner Cook. Messenger finds that loose ball off the drop. Split dodge, gets across the top, can't pull the trigger. Garland couldn't handle a pass. But able to find that loose ball as we approach the final 5 minutes of regulation. These 2 teams will play again tomorrow night. All alone, diving Kazemnikov! Del Bianco with another save. And we reached our final regulation break. Del Bianco standing tall between the pipes. The NLL on TSN Game of the Week is brought to you by NLLstore.ca, a Fanatics experience. Officially licensed everything. 11-7 is your score here in Calgary. 4:52 remaining. These 2 teams having so much fun. They're going to do it again tomorrow night from Saskatoon, SaskTel Arena. And if you want to watch that game, you're not able to make the road trip, you can find the action on TSN Plus.
What do you think, Teddy? We getting a card tonight?
Quick rental?
Quick rental, hit the prairies on a cold April evening.
If you're in charge of the music, I'm in.
Chiliano will need to stand on his head for the next 4:52. And the Saskatchewan Rush, expect to see some, maybe you'll see Kaizek in some 6-on-5 action to try to get some plays on Christian Del Bianco, some decent quality shots here in the dying 5. But the Saskatchewan Rush, I don't think you can allow another goal. And you have to get on top of Del Bianco.
Little up floor pressure. Now Messenger all alone on a breakaway. Messenger scores! What a breakdown by Calgary, and Messenger capitalizes.
There's one.
Give him 11 on the season.
It's been a focal point all night shots. He just does everything. Face-offs, loose balls, he's blocked shots, and now he's rewarded with his 11th goal as he's given a freebie by the Calgary Roughnecks. Back to a 3-goal game. This is where the composure of the Roughnecks needs to come into play.
Shots 55-37 in favor of the Rush, who trail by 3, 4:35 remaining. Messenger wins it cleanly. Right back to Jarrett Smith, and here comes the Rush offense.
They're basically conceding face-offs to Messenger.
Zach Mann still without a goal here tonight. Split dodge, can't get his hands free. Keenan down on the corner. Dodds back to Keenan. Outside shot, heavy shot from Keenan. And he gets stuck in the back of the net. They've been blowing that down really quick on the back of the net tonight. That didn't stay there very long.
No chance for anybody to get their sticks in there, battle for that free ball for Del Bianco and the Roughnecks.
Comes Calgary. Josh Curry. Cook. Cornwall heads off. Late man is Taylor. 5 on the shot clock. King. Shot around the screen and he scores! Huge goal from the captain. And Saskatchewan can't afford to trade goals.
Any sign of life, the Roughnecks find an answer. And in this quarter, it's been some long balls. Courier, Dixon, and now Jesse King. As they're starting to wear down the big man, Frank Chiliano, in this 4th quarter. Goals that the Rush cannot afford to be giving up.
.341 as King gets his 2nd of the night, 27th of the season. Messenger wins that draw again, being hounded by 2 defenders. Gets away as he spins. Pirouettes away from the trouble. Triolo, quick shot, sails wide. Loose ball picked up there by Clark Walter. Church through a screen, saved Del Bianco. Last time Zach Manns was held goalless in a game February 10th against the Vancouver Warriors. And Josh Sanderson will call a timeout here with 3:05 remaining. Dodds has had a quiet night as well from Saskatchewan. So the Victoria boys for the Rush not exactly firing on all cylinders here.
No, and the Roughnecks are going to blow this down. Try to calm down a little bit. They know they got a 4-goal cushion with 3:05 to go, but they gave up some goals to Albany late a week ago, 2 weeks ago rather, to head to OT. And talking to Josh Sanderson this week is about the composure, valuing possession at this stage of the game. This will be a teaching moment for his team to hang on to this ball, milk these clocks down.
Quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Buffalo leading Colorado 13-11. That one might have just gone final. San Diego leads Panther City 6-5 at halftime. And after being up 4-0, Halifax leads Vancouver 8-5 at halftime. So as soon as this game is over, roughly 3 minutes or so, head over to TSN Plus and catch the final of those other games tonight. Don't forget 4 games tomorrow, including number 1 versus number 3, Toronto and Albany, a game everybody has been waiting to see. And then Sunday Funday, Wings and Panther City from Fort Worth. Probably see Frank Chiliano have to start coming to the bench in the next few possessions as King trying to back down BK3. Shot turned aside by Chiliano. Loose ball. Nice stick check there by Pace. Didn't allow Garland to pick it up. Hogarth found the garbage, as he often does, in a fresh 30 here for Calgary.
Big loose ball on heavy pressure, heavy physicality on this shift from the Rush.
And they got Simpson out there on offense just to stop reverse transition. As an extra defensive body as King gets a rough ride in the boards. Now they're going to say Saskatchewan possession. And Quinlan called the timeout. 2:21 remaining. Smart play there by Jimmy Quinlan. Saw that his team was in trouble behind the net. The 8-second count going. He called the timeout to keep possession.
Yeah, they were mucking up behind the net. There was only about 4 seconds left to go. Well, the Rush will look for a lifeline. Expect them to go 6-on-5. Then have Messenger battle for the face-off if they're able to get a goal. But a quiet night for Robert Church, just one goal. Keenan with a couple. Messenger with the transition goal. The Calgary Roughnecks defense kept the Rush Stars in check tonight.
So Frank Chiliano will be on the bench. Thomas Kajzik will stand on the gate as the speedier of the two goaltenders trying to backtrack. Mike Triolo will start with it deep in his own zone. All 5 Calgary defensemen back in their defensive zone. And here Jimmy Quinlan saying, I want speed on the door. So Kajzik will actually probably be the second or third guy coming out off a turnover. And a little shutdown denial pressure on Robert Church from Courier. Mans, Triolo, Kazepnikov! And sometimes when you look to shut off, other guys are open. And Nathaniel Kazepnikov gets his 12th of the season, first of the night. 3-goal game. Not over yet, folks.
None bigger than that this season for Koneznikov to give his team some life. The unlikely weapon on this 6-on-5, as you mentioned, but he's got point-blank positioning on this 6-on-5. Turn and shoot, pick a corner.
And they'll keep the goalie out of the cage and go 6-on-5 here on the face-off. And it'll be interesting to see what Messenger can do here. If he tries to push it straight forward to himself or go back to Garland. And nice job there by Jeff Cornwall to find that loose ball. And also equally wise not to force it towards the open net. Kajzik in between the pipes. Simpson, again, defensive speed to stop reverse transition. He's got it now off the pass from Pace. 6 on the shot clock. Cook in alone, shoulder save, Kajzik, loose ball. Pace battling for it. He knocks his man down to the turf. King comes in, I think they're gonna say Pace withholding. It'll be Saskatchewan ball.
It's getting nasty down there. King and Bobby Kidd III getting after it. Boudreau gives King a shot.
So no timeout available for Jimmy Quinlan, so Saskatchewan gonna have to play this straight up the last 80 seconds. Here's Keenan. Triolo, Kazepnikov, back to Triolo. Low-to-low shot, save Del Bianco. Does he want the open net? No, but he'll throw a breakout pass to Simpson down the floor. But Simpson can't handle a tough bounce. Kajzik doing wind sprints. Clark Walter, final minute of regulation. Roughhouse to their feet. Kazepnikov with 15 on the shot clock.
Good stick there to take that shot away.
Dodds, time and room, scores! First of the night for Dodds, 2-goal game. 12-10, 42 seconds left.
Dodds comes alive on the 6-on-5. Scattered play. It was a good stick by the shot from Ryan Keenan to make it go wide. They get a nice bounce. Dodds checks the clock and goes, I'll just take it. Nice sidearm rip. Short side. Beautiful shot by Patrick Dawes. And monster face-off here between Messenger and Salama. 4 men back for Calgary.
Expect Messenger to pinch and pop to Boudreau if he can. He does. Salama battling, and Salama will find that loose ball. Oh, nice play by Messenger. I'm not sure it would have counted as Salama kicked it towards the net, but what a play from Mike Messenger. Boudreau shot, saved Delbianco. Final 30 in regulation. Ball iced up the floor. Cornwall. If we can just keep it here, they'll win game one. It's back-to-back, and they will. Final 10 seconds. LeClaire. Pass picked off by Mans. Has his stick checked. And Calgary will move to 7-8 with a massive 12-10 victory with 2.6 seconds left.
What a chaotic finish here.
Might have a penalty shot here. Here's Ryan Dutkus.
Saskatchewan minor penalty, illegal substitution. Under 2 minutes, penalty shot.
There will be a penalty shot.
Just a little icing on the entertainment cake in this game. Dan Taylor will take it, the hometown product in this Battle of the Prairies.
And Saskatchewan wisely puts Frank Chiliano back between the pipes. Dan Taylor has 1 goal tonight and a chance to put this game on ice officially with 2.6 left. Clock dead, time standing still. Taylor all alone. In, shot, trying to 5-hole, Chiliano shut the door. But that was just a mere formality as this game is pretty much over with 2.6 left.
I can't believe what a treat we're in for. They're going to do it all again tomorrow night. These two teams, this was a 5-goal lead by Calgary at one point. Saskatchewan making things very interesting in the late stages, but Calgary not letting them get enough breathing room as they close it out on home floor in what's basically a playoff game. Calgary's hopes now still very much alive, and Saskatchewan playoff hopes dimming like the sun on the prairie night.
You've been holding that one on all game, haven't you?
Felt good, felt good.
Messenger wins the draw, but there's just not enough time. Calgary takes the first of back-to-back. They'll run it back tomorrow night in Saskatoon. You are gonna want to tune into that one on TSN Plus. But what a game. What heart by Saskatchewan to claw themselves back into this one. But an early start by Calgary really put them ahead here.
The MVP did MVP things tonight, Christian Delbianco. Saskatchewan's gonna look back at this tape and go, man, we were on top of the goaltender. We outshot them. We had some great opportunities, but Christian Delbianco was too much. And then credit the offense for the Calgary Roughnecks. Every time Saskatchewan got a couple to get close, they ended a run. They never scored more than 2 goals in a row at any point in this game. And in a game of runs, it was the 4-goal opening run in this game for Calgary that really ends up being the difference maker. Saskatchewan now 0-7 when they don't score the first goal.
And since these two teams will play again, no handshakes. Time now for the TSN turning point of the game. And before the game, Chantel Chan talked with Ryan Keenan, and he said they needed to get off to a fast start. Well, it was Calgary. They got off to a fast start as they jumped out 4-0, and they never turned that lead over.
Yeah, the only 4 goals of the first quarter. Pace, Cook, Dixon, and Matsuoka with the transition marker. And then it was an uphill climb the rest of the game for the Saskatchewan Rush. And in a building that has this kind of momentum and this kind of energy, it was a hill too big to climb for the Saskatchewan Rush.
Chantel Chan is with Harrison Matsuoka.
Harry, tonight's game had everything in it. You scored a transition goal, great pass from Christian as well. But do you feel like tonight Calgary played a full 60 minutes?
No, we're not really happy with our fourth quarter. We wanted to go out and send a message for tomorrow's game. We play them in 24 hours. But we played enough where it was able to get us a win, but we'll be ready for a full 60 tomorrow.
Christian Delbianco made some killer saves tonight. How much confidence does he give this club knowing that he's back there?
I mean, he's the MVP of the league, right? So every night we go in, we know we got the best player in the league playing behind us, and it just gives us that confidence to kind of go out and be a little bit reckless, as Delbs likes to say.
It's a back-to-back, a home and home. You guys are headed to Saskatoon tomorrow. How do you think that game is going to go?
I think it's going to go a lot like tonight. You know, we had last weekend off, so we got a little bit of advantage, but both teams are traveling. They might have the home advantage tomorrow, so it's going to be a fun game, but we're going to bring a full 60, so excited.
Congrats on the win.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Teddy, Brad.
Harrison Matsuoka all smiles as Calgary wins the first of this back-to-back. And man, Brad, what an absolute fantastic matchup.
As advertised, Teddy, as advertised. A low-scoring first quarter where both goaltenders were standing on their heads. The goal of the year maybe from Thomas Hogarth, Saskatchewan punching back, but Calgary with just a little bit too much in the tank tonight. And as Harrison Matsuoka mentioned, when Christian Del Bianco is making saves, the momentum is just builds and builds and builds confidence in their team. A couple late goals. I think Frank Chiliano tires out a little bit in that fourth quarter as they scored a lot of long bomb goals in that fourth against Chiliano to keep things interesting. And now we look ahead to tomorrow night where Saskatchewan playoff hopes really hang on tomorrow evening.
Calgary now tied at 7-8 with New York, but the Riptide have the tiebreaker from an earlier win here in Calgary a couple months ago. So they got to continue to find wins. For the Rush, that puts a huge damper on their playoff hopes, but Calgary's still keeping their hopes alive.
Calgary's got Buffalo and Panther City teams ahead of them, and the Rush have to place Toronto and San Diego after Calgary. So the number 1 and number 2 seeds as it stands right now. It's a long climb for the Saskatchewan Rush.
Speaking of Toronto, they'll be taking on the Rochester Nighthawks on Saturday, April 13th as lacrosse on TSN continues. Don't miss it, Nighthawks and Rock at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN and TSN Plus. What a game it was here tonight in the Rough House. The Battle of Prairies lived up to the hype. Calgary jumped out to an early lead. It was rough, it was tumble, it was fast, and it was everything we expected it to be. These two teams will do it all again tomorrow. You can watch it live on TSN Plus. For Chantel, Brad, our whole staff here in Calgary, my name is Teddy Jenner. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe and be excellent to each other.